Hi, I'm Sarah Powell from the University of Texas at Austin. And today in this STAIR Tailored, we're focused on subtracting integers, and we're going to use a number line to do this. And we're going to subtract two problems today. We're going to do -3 minus 2 and 4 minus -6. Notice how I'm very specific with how I talk about the symbols of math. I talk about this as being the minus sign. So I say we're going to subtract or minus -6. This is the negative symbol. Those symbols are different and we need to treat them with respect. All right? So let's go ahead and think about how we can do this on a number line. So I'm going to move over here to my number line and I'm going to get out my friend, the duck. So we are going to solve these problems today with our duck. Here is my positive and negative number line. I'm going to orient my 0 about the middle of my screen, and these are my positive integers, and here are my negative integers. Now before I do anything, I want to think about a problem with just positive integers. So let's think about 3 minus 2 before we get to this stuff over here with lots more signs than just that. So I've got duck, and duck is going to face, starting on 3, the duck is always going to start facing like the positive direction of the number line. Now if we are subtracting, that means that duck needs to signal a change in directions because we are going to go the other way on the number line. So the minus sign always signals, whoops, I got to face a different direction. Now we are going to subtract 2. So we're going to hop back 1, 2 spaces. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So that's how duck did it with positive integers. Let's try some problems that are a little bit more complicated, all right? So let's do this first problem, -3 minus 2. So duck is going to start on -3. Remember, duck always starts facing the positive direction of the number line. Now I see a minus sign. That means there's going to be a change in the direction that duck walks. So duck flips over 180 degrees. And now duck needs to do something 2 spaces. If this number is positive, duck is going to march forward according to duck's orientation on the number line. If this number is negative, duck marches backward from where duck is arranged. This is positive 2. Notice that there is no negative symbol in front of that 2. So duck is going to march forward 2 spaces. 1, 2. So -3 minus 2 is -5. Now let's try this problem. 4 minus -6. Duck starts on 4, always facing the positive part of the number line. But there's a minus sign. That means duck is going to move around. All right, so we flip duck 180 degrees. Now duck is going to either move forward if this is a positive integer, or negative if it's a negative integer. Or backward if it's a negative integer. I'm sorry, I didn't explain that well. So this is not a positive integer. If it was, duck would march this way. But it's a negative integer, so duck is going to march backward according to the way that duck is facing. And we're going to mark backwards 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I have 4 and we subtract -6, our difference is positive 10. So that's how duck works. In subtraction, duck always starts on the first number here. So for example, -3, always facing the positive portion of the number line. And if it's duck's adding, duck just stays where they are. But if duck is subtracting, duck has to flip directions, just like we would do if these were just positive integers. And then duck decides whether they will march forward from where duck is facing. That would be if there's a positive integer, or if duck is march backwards if there is a negative integer. And again, in this example, duck marches forward 1, 2 spaces. -3 minus 2 equals 5. So that's just a brief example of how we can use something like a number line and our duck to help us understand what does it mean when we are subtracting integers on a number line.